Chapter 1 discusses the difference between government and politics. Government is the institutions and officials who make rules and policies affecting a geographical area and its people. On the other hand, politics is the control or the struggle for control of these rules and policies. Politics has such a negative sound to it, doesn't it? I mean, people are always saying things like, oh, he's playing politics, or that's just politics. Like politics is a bad thing. Actually, politics isn't such a bad thing at all, because it is a struggle for control. The competing elections, the debates regarding this policy versus that policy, even the name-calling that sometimes occurs in our American system is much preferable to the other option that would be part of this struggle for control, and that is violence. I also want you to read about Thomas Hobbes, John Locke, and the social contract. Both Thomas Hobbes and John Locke were political philosophers who wrote and studied issues related to the creation of government. John Locke in particular has had an enormous impact on Thomas Jefferson's Declaration of Independence. John Locke wrote about the creation of government in a series of essays in which he talked about something called the social contract. According to John Locke and others like him, including Hobbes, man before government lived in a state of nature. Man had all of these natural rights. Locke lists these natural rights as life, liberty, and property. According to Locke, these natural rights came from God. In this state of nature, however, man was not safe because everyone had absolute freedom. Man's life, his property, wasn't safe at all. There was always the so-called bully on the playground coming along to hurt man, to take his property, and even to threaten his life. So man agreed to form society. The first social contract was man coming together to form society, and the second social contract, man agrees to create government. Locke said that the sole purpose for government, the only reason man created government, was to protect his natural rights. Locke also believed in things like limited government. Locke believed that the best way to limit a government is to give most of government's power to a legislature. A legislature would include many members and would make decisions by majority vote. This is a good term for us, the idea of majority rule. To win anything by a majority, such as an election, or to pass a bill by a majority, you have to have more than half the votes. That'd be at least 50% of the votes plus one. Locke believed that a legislature was a much better way to limit government or to control government, because instead of one man, such as a president, making the decisions himself, there would be many men having to agree by majority vote before any decision could be made. Locke also believed in the right of revolution, since, according to him, the only reason for government's existence was to protect man's natural rights. If government failed to do that, if government failed to protect man's rights, or if government actually acted to invade those rights, then man should rise up, throw off that government, and create a better government that would do a better job. In other words, man should have a revolution. You probably noticed that some of Locke's ideas, here and in the textbook, sound an awful lot like the Declaration of Independence. As a matter of fact, John Adams, one of the makers of the Revolution, would eventually claim that Thomas Jefferson plagiarized Locke when he wrote the Declaration of Independence. Something to think about, huh?